Welcome back to the Eric Krown crypto channel, and continuing the options playlist today, we'll be going over the next Greek, gamma. Now, gamma is very important when you are doing many different legs on your options trades. However, if you are just simply buying an option straight up, you're just long naked, well, it's probably not going to add too much value to your overall analysis. So first and foremost, let's speak about the dictionary definition of what gamma is. And for that, we'll go over here to good old Investopedia. So gamma represents the rate of change between an option's delta and the underlying asset's price. This so-called second order or second derivative price sensitivity. Gamma indicates the amount that delta would change given a $1 move in the underlying asset. So if that went straight over your head, don't worry, we're going to go over some examples where I hope to provide some more color and some more tangibility on that, if we will. But first and foremost, let's just talk about where you actually find your gammas. So this is the position screen right here. Obviously, I don't have an account, but if I were in position, then my gammas would be shown in this pane right here. And this is very standard across all exchanges, but in this particular instance, we are using Bybit. So when you're putting on many different options in your position, whether you're long, short, bunch of different strikes, or playing puts versus calls, these are the times where understanding your gammas is very important. Because what does it tell you? It tells you at what rate your deltas are changing for every $1 move in price. So how does that look like in practice? Well, over here, I've just kind of written out some quick examples that we'll go through together, and I think this will probably, hopefully, hammer in the point best. So again, what is a gamma, or what are your gammas? What is a gamma? What are your gammas? For every $1 change in price of the underlying, so in this case, Bitcoin, how much do our deltas change? And then of course, as we went over in the prior video, deltas are our P&L change for every $1 increase or decrease in price. So if we have a delta of 10, if our current position has 10 deltas, or long 10 deltas, and we have one gamma, then for every $1 that Bitcoin goes up, that means that our deltas are also going up 1. So, and if Bitcoin goes up $1, our deltas go from 10 to 11, and then another dollar, well, 11 to 12, so on and so forth. You get the idea. Nice and simple within that particular example. In fact, I'll even write that out. So if price goes up $1, let me actually get the microphone over here, then our deltas go equal 11. And by contrast, if price goes down $1, then our deltas will be what? Equals 9. So it shows you how your position evolves as price action moves. Again, it's not going to really provide too much value if you're only, buying like a naked option or selling a naked option. It will matter a lot though for getting a quick snapshot as to where your positional risk is when you have multiple legs doing multiple different strikes, doing calls and puts at the same time. These sort of things can definitely complicate the situation, and that's where your gamma read over here kind of tells you, am I more positioned to the upside or the downside? If I'm long gammas, then I'm generally wanting price action to go up, because that means my deltas will start to go up as well as price action goes up, of course, and vice versa for down. So let's do another couple examples right here. Let's take the opposite. What if our deltas were equal to 10, but our gamma is -1? Well, in this case, if we take the same example here, is the word that I'm looking for. If price goes up $1, then our deltas equal 9. For every $1 move in price action, our gamma is -1. Gamma of -1 translates into 10 minus 1 for our deltas. So that's how our deltas change for each and every $1 move to the upside. And if price goes down $1, then what are our deltas going to be? Well, down 1, we have a negative times a negative. Because the gamma is -1 as well. Well, delta would be 11. Delta 11. Let's just kind of take this example one step further. What if price goes up $5? Now I'll pause here for a second. What do you think the deltas are going to be if price goes up $5? And I'll just kind of hang back for a second here. I'm sure that you'll get this with a little bit of thought. You're probably already there, but if not, what would your deltas be? Your deltas would be 5. Why? Well, if price action goes up $5, and for each and every $1 that it goes up, your gammas are -1, well, then that means for each and every $1 that price action goes up, and if it goes up $5, then we lose 5 deltas, basically. Here's the thing though, it unlikely will work like that in practice when we're talking about multi-dollar moves, because for each and every $1 change, your gammas will also probably have a bit of change as well. All right, so let's get into a little bit more of a interesting one right here, perhaps, or maybe you think so, maybe you don't, but fair enough. And what if, or in this situation, if price goes up $1, what are deltas? If our starting deltas are -32 and our gamma is 5, well, if price action goes up, we gain 5 deltas because our gamma is 5, so that would be -27 deltas. Okay, and if price goes down, might as well do it for thoroughness sake, of course. Well, if price goes down $1, well, we lose 5 deltas. So in this case, we already are -32, so we're short 32 deltas. Well, that means we're gonna be short 37 deltas now. So we're getting more and more short exposure. So this would be -37 deltas. There we go. Okay, and one last one. Why not, man? Why not? If our starting delta is 53, meaning that for every $1 up or down, we gain or lose $53. Well, what would happen if price action goes up $1 and our gammas are 17? Well, if price goes up $1, then we would gain 17 more deltas, and that would be 70 deltas. So in this case, as we're gaining more long deltas as price goes up, we're obviously long biased. We want price action to continue to go up. That's where our profit is. And if price goes down $1, how many deltas do we have? 53 minus 17, that's 43, so 36 deltas. Still long, but we lost some of our upside exposure. Okay, so there we go. Nice and short and sweet. As far as gammas go, again, gives you a good insight as to where your directional risk is and how your deltas evolve when price action moves up or down. A lot more useful when you're doing more complicated and multi-legged sort of strategies. And I will see you in the next one. Take care.